Okay guys, so this is our fluctuations with PS4, Xbox and PC. It's a tutorial of how to use it. So the first thing you need to account for is the content for the current day. So at 6 PM UK time we get content on FIFA such as icon, SBCs, etc. So these two buttons right here, one of them will direct you to the newest players on foot. So if you press it, it takes you towards the players on foot. And if you click the other one, which is for the SBCs, let's get this to disappear. You'll see this, okay? So what you're looking for here when you see this is essentially that if we had an icon SBC here, like a mid-icon SBC, if you're looking at icons on their fluctuations and noticing on here that they're down, so for example, if we go to an icon, I'm just going to quickly search this way. So as you can see here, all the icons on the fluctuation tracker as well, so you can refer here. So if you notice an icon was heavily down, for example, or you notice the majority of icons were down, because we have an icon SBC here, that's the reason they could be down. It also applies if we get, let's say, a centre attacking mid that's really good value as an SBC player, or if we get a brand new team of the week with a good player that's good value, then what you're already like considering here, such as this objective, you need to consider that this could affect alternative cards in the game. So when Todibo came out, players like Linglet got really badly affected. So they're ones you need to be warned here. So if this card, as it shows, it's back up again now. He dropped off really heavily yesterday due to the SBC, the Todibo SBC. So in that occasion, you need to be bearing in mind that you're probably going to need to avoid that card or make sure you're buying at the lowest of possibles, because they tend to continue to drop. And it's kind of hard to call when they're going to bounce back, but it normally is within 24 to 48 hours. So if you do trade on them cards from clicking these buttons, and obviously this is very important when you're doing fluctuation trading, if you do like end up in these situations where you actually notice that and then have actually checked that, you won't end up in any trouble of not having it bounce back to their daily average. So basically what we're going to be doing throughout this is clicking these headers. So if you see this header here for percentage from break even after tax 5%, if you press this, what it does is it fills it high to low and low to high. So these values in these boxes, basically what it means is if it's minus or anything below 2.5% to 3%, you can look at all these cards because they're currently low from their daily average price. So what this header means here, percentage from break even after tax 5%, if the current market price is below the break even after tax price by any percentage, this will calculate it, okay? So as you can see here, this card's down 20%. So it's down 20% off the break even after tax of the daily average if you can get that price back. So there's probably a reason this card's down. But as you can see here, you'd be aiming to try sell back towards near the daily average price if you're working with fluctuations, because they typically do fluctuate back to the daily average. This isn't always guaranteed, so you do need to bear that in mind. So when you find a card that's down to like even 2%, you'd simply go onto foot and you have to judge it yourself with, do I feel like he's going to bounce back to the full daily average? Should I account in case he doesn't? So if you said, right, I'm going to sell at 39,000 for this card, which is Ferran Torres one to watch, then you know that you can't, you're breaking even after tax on that one would be typing in 39,000 into here and then typing in 0 into this box, just so you have two values in each, and you're going to get 37,050 coins back after tax on a 39,000 sale. Again, it's covered inside this because we don't account for the numbers where you can't round, okay? So as you can see, 37,000 coins tells you there already. So you now know you're going to make 37,000 after tax on the card. Simply, you'd need to judge the price that's good to buy at. So you see it's at 37,750 to the current market. You can look on bids and buy nows to win these cards for 35,000 each. So the whole trick is to buy en masse again with this, or the same kind of process of specials with, depending on your budget, 10% of your budget per card in fluctuation trading. So if you have 500k, do 50k or less cards by 10 of different variation ideally, so you're not solely relying on one fluctuation of a player that might not necessarily come back to place as you want it to. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to show you this in action now, where I'm going to refresh the site and then obviously update this so the data will change in here. The data in the current market price will change and the break even after tax. Also bear in mind that this gets updated multiple times per day at random times. There is a way to find out, which I'll quickly show you in the next bit of this clip. Okay, so this is the Foot Trading Discord. Again, if you're not in here and you're a site subscriber, simply go to the description in this chat of this YouTube video and click on the link to join. Once you're joined, go to hashtag roles, simply react to this one. Your tick might not necessarily stay, but react to this one and react with the console that you're currently on. So if you're on PlayStation, click PlayStation. What that will do is it'll unlock the whole server for you so you can see everything to a general user's ability, basically. If you're a website subscriber, though, simply go to... Where is it? You want to go to support, the category called support, and you want to go to website sub role. And you'd simply click this little emoji on the letter and read what it says here. Remember not to send the message to the bot, you send it inside your ticket, because what this does by clicking this, I'm not going to do it, but it will open yourself a hashtag ticket, as you can see. You will not have this number, you will have your own one that only you and staff can see. So if I click, I don't want to click into this, but if I click into that, you'd see the user that opened the ticket and obviously the staff. No one else in the Discord can see. So you simply just send the proof of purchase into there. We give you the role to access the Discord server for the website subscriber area, which is this. So inside here, you've got hashtag potential deal alerts. This is for icons, but the reason that you have to look at this if you want to be notified about fluctuations is basically inside this, when we run this, I can't really show, as you can see, there's a lot of deal alerts every single day, but if I do manage to get to where it actually initially pings you, because this pings you before it starts, it warns you 1 minute before it's going to start or 30 seconds before it's going to start. What you'll notice is inside here it tells you fluctuations will be updated within 10 minutes from this update. So every time I run this, as you can see, the time's 11:18, 12:30. Like, it gets run random times. It's not every single hour, but it's after 5 PM UK time until silly hours of the morning, basically, for UK time. So it tells you here fluctuations will also be updated within 10 minutes. So you just keep going back to the fluctuations on the site. That last update button in the fluctuations, you're looking at that and seeing when it changes, because obviously every time it gets updated, there might be new deals or new lows on the market. So what I'll do now is I'm going to go onto FIFA and we're going to start trying to put it into action. Okay, so as you can see, there's been a natural deal alert just been run. You can just refer here and see 2:05 AM. It's currently 2:06. So I've obviously just updated this for the purpose of the video, but if you see the deal alerts go off or you're seeing them running, just keep checking back to the website. So now what we do is we go to the website. So as you can see here, if we go to here and then we go to here and then we refresh this web page, okay? So you see the time here is 00:35 AM. These are UK times. So you just keep refreshing the page or just check it every 5 minutes or so after the deal alert's been run, because it is going to come anytime then. As you can see, it's changed to 2:05 now, so you know that the data in here is updated to the current time. So what you do again is simply, the first thing I do every time, percentage from break even after EA tax, okay? You press this. Now you'll see there's a low and there's a high, okay? So this filters it low to high, which I said last. Minus is good. Positives are, like, the higher it is in value here, the percentage, the higher it is, the worse it is. I always look at stuff up to 2.5% if I'm feeling like there might be a deal at 4%. Always don't underestimate, but anything below 5% definitely do check out. So that's one way you can filter it like that. If you just wanted to look at icons and see how the icon market's behaving, if you type in here where it says search a player, if you just type in icon, you'll see that it just shows you all the icons, because it searches the whole table for that name. So if you type in icon, you see it's only showing you icons now. So if you just wanted to do that, you can do that. If you wanted to filter it by price, I'm pretty sure if you press break even after tax here, what it does is it filters it to the value 0. And again, you get anomalies like this, but it's not just ignore the card. You can't buy it for a minus value. It gets fixed in an hour. So you that's low to high, obviously. So again, you look here and you think 3.7%, break it. The daily average is 14.3. He's at 13. Current price is 13.5. The break even after tax is that. So you look for bids at 12,000 coins or buy nows at 12,000 on snipes, and you pick the cards up. You just go through the whole list of anything like that, and that's one way to do it. Or as I do it all the time mostly, just press the button here. Again, all I'm doing is clicking that header. If you're on mobile, you can't do this. You have to just judge it by the value you see in the box, because there's no way of filtering on mobile. Unless you request a desktop version on your site, on your phone, which you can do by searching up on Google how to request a desktop version of a website. So if we see here, the Jalcum will be an anomaly, okay? Certain cards like this, there's either a reason he's down or it's picking up a really good snipe that's just been picked up. So again, you don't expect to see that. I'm assuming that Jalquin Inform was just a really cheap card right then. At that point, it would have gone within 2 seconds. So we look at cards here, again, up to 1 to 2%. I'm still looking. So I think as well, is there any reason any of these cards could be down when I'm looking? So Messi Inform is currently down to 1% here. His daily average is 109.8. He's currently at 105.4 on the market. And the break even after EA tax is 104.3. So I think, is there any reason Messi could be down right now? The only other reason there is today, as of the time of recording this, is Messi's currently due another inform. So what that's done is it's brought his card down in price because people are panic selling the other inform. Normally this doesn't last, but they're the types of reasons where you have to be careful on buying into them, because you can't expect them kind of cards that be affected to jump back to the daily average, because they won't do it, or they're less likely to do it. The cards that have no reason to actually be down are the cards that are most likely at a low on their fluctuation and will bounce back. So in this example, Sergio Herrera, if that's on the market at 21 and the break even after tax is 21 on a daily average of 22,667, which again, when it does that, it's judging it off 22,500, I think. So in this situation, you see he's currently at the break even after EA tax price, which is perfect. Now you're just looking to snipe him at a price that suits you, assuming that you're thinking that he's going to sell at a daily average price, which they should in most cases, unless I said there's a reason. So we're going to go onto the market, we're going to scan through this document like we're doing here, and we're going to try and find examples of where I'm going to show you where I've determined the price to pay, where I'm going to make money from the daily average price, or what I sell back at, because the daily average is what you sell back at. So I'm back in 2 seconds on FIFA. Alright guys, so I'm back on FIFA, and that anomaly that I said was on the market at 26,000, yeah? Funny enough, that card's actually on the market, and if you look at the market, again, the time of recording is 2 AM, but they're on bid for 25k. Again, he's a really bad inform. I do wonder why his daily average is what it is, but he seems really rare. So I'm actually going to buy this card. This is never going to happen to you guys, where you can just... That doesn't seem normal. If we do manage to sell this card, I'll be shocked, but... Basically, I don't know how that's sat there, but that's the example I'm going to give you. The guy we were looking at the end of the last clip, which was Sergio Herrera, currently is at 23k on the market, not 22. So he's currently at 1,000 coins above, which is obviously less likely you're going to find deals in that card now because he's rather high. Again, so as you can see here, that he's very rare still, but the daily average is 23.5k and he's at 23. So what you could do is, we know the break even after tax from the website, which told you there it's a 22,000 break even after tax, and I have no reason to believe this card won't sell for the daily average again. So I would simply put in a price where I'm happy to make a certain profit with. Again, when you're judging profits, it depends on how much you're investing. So if you're looking at 20k cards, ideally 10% back is a good return on whatever you're buying back. So if you put in 20k, 2,000 coin return per card is really good on a fluctuation, because obviously you will find more than one. This is just an example where there's no deal on the market. So I'd be happy to pay up to 20.5k, 20,000 coins, make 1.5 to 2k a card after tax, should I sell at the daily average. And I'd be simply looking for bids on this card at 20.5, which is none right now. Or I'd be looking to snipe them. So you can even, I wouldn't like suggest sitting here just waiting on this card, because he's obviously just one in form. There's hundreds of there's 800 cards on the site right now for this. So just move on, because he's no good right now. Obviously keep it noted, check it back in half an hour, see if he comes down or if someone undercuts, because anything at 20,000 in this example would be a perfect buy to sell back at the daily average, because there's no reason to be down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go pick out some actual ones where there's actual working deals, like the Jow Quinn. The Jow Quinn probably isn't going to sell at the daily average again, as you guys can see, but it definitely will make a profit 100%. So I'll come back to you once I found some other examples. Okay, so what I found here is I found 2 cards currently. Again, these are higher end cards, but the same concept applies to cheaper cards, but I thought I'd show this with the more expensive premium version, because obviously you guys could look at the inform and think, yeah, I'll do it, but then when you come to the expensive cards, you're like, no thanks. So I'm on my alt account. This isn't my main account, obviously. So we've got 2 million coins on here, but it's enough to just look at these cards, although I do say 10% of your budget is ideal. As the examples are, I'll just show these. So if you look at this card here, okay, I'll show you on the website right now. If I go to here and I'll show you here, you can see the card is currently, where is he? He is Nabil Fekir, okay? So again, the first header, you'll remember these as you do it. If you can scroll back up if you want to, I'm not gonna, but this is the current price. This is the percentage you break even after tax of this one. So if you sell at 322, you're getting back 306 after tax. So if you sold at this, you get that back, and then that's the current price. So I don't see, again, apart from weekend league sell-off, temporarily bringing his card down from his daily average of 322 to 306. I'd say you're going to get at least 320k for these cards still. So because of that, I work out how much tax is on 320,000, which you can do again from the top. 320,000 into the selling price, 0 into the buying price on the tax calculator above this, and it will tell you how much you get. I can already tell you 32 divided by 2 is 16, that's 5%. So 16,000 minus 32 is 304. So after that, what we're going to do is judge our price to buy, okay? So we got 304 is how much we're going to make back after tax, should we sell at 320. So it's currently at 314. We're just going to go to the market now. As they're currently low, what you're going to see here is if I put in 314, he's on the market, which is good, okay? So now you see an undercut to the 314. The 314 got bought, but there's now a 310. We know we're going to get at least 304k per card. So again, in this situation, you need a better deal than this, okay? You can sit here and try and snipe, or you can judge to try sell higher. I don't normally tend to undercut the daily average price of cards, depending on the day, depending if there's content due or if there's a market crash upcoming. I'd normally be looking to sell this card for probably higher end of 327, like 330 probably. You can also refer to the daily average price, which was... The daily average price on this was 322,453 coins. What I also like to do now and then, even during weekly sell-off, is just double check the market. So at 330k, this card's quite rare. So just because the daily average is 323 doesn't mean you can't get above that. In this situation, you can probably get 329 for this card, 328. If you're trying to be safe, you sell at daily average price, but you start gaining the confidence as you do this. You can sell for higher in some situations if you judge their fluctuations to rise. But if we decided to sell at 327, that gives us more leeway to how much we can buy the card for, because we can only pat to 304 breaks even on 320, okay? So if we're selling at 320k, we're only getting 304 back. So these are not making us money, they're losing us money. As he's on the market for 309, like you see, you can either sit on the card, wait for an undercut, or mark this one like this, watch it, and then just check it back in 10 minutes, see if he's come down more. You can also go to bids, and you determine how much is a good profit. I'd say at least 10k per card. I know I said 10%, but with the expensive cards, at least 10k per card. When you get into the million coin cards, at least 20, 30k per card, because these tend to sell quite quick. So we put 300k into here, and we'd be looking at these bids. So we know we're getting 304 back at least, and that's me decided to sell at 320. So if I win these for 295 and make 9k a card on a 300k card, and they will sell within 3 hours or so. If there was multiple in the market, again, I'm recording this at late hours. If there was multiple in the market and you could get them as cheap as possible, and you've decided your sell price, then 295 or 290 into this from a 304 is like after tax, you make 9 to 14k a card. Like if you pick up 3 of these, and that's just one card out of the list, okay? So you pick up 3 of these at 295, which shouldn't be too hard to do. Or you can sit there sniping and then sell them at 320. You're making about 40k off the 3 of them put together, if not more. And that's only a 900k investment. And normally the deals just sit there for you. They're not too hard to buy. You're not really competing with anyone because you know the low, someone else doesn't know that. Again, obviously fluctuations aren't guaranteed to continuously rise back to the daily average price. So you do need to consider that when you come onto this. This is probably the most advanced trading you'll get to because you're anticipating how the card's going to maneuver next. That's why the buttons at the top of the page on the website are very important that you do look at. I also marked another card here. Mohamed Salah, he's probably sold now. Ignore my watch list, I've just been trading with icons on here. So that card's sold, but it doesn't mean you can't see more undercuts. There was a Mohamed Salah, so I noticed on the website it picked it up as a daily average of 750k. I can show you that just to make sure. So that's the current time. Mohamed Salah's daily average price is 750,000 coins. I've personally traded this on my main account, and I sold this card at 770,000 coins today, knowing his fluctuation from looking here. I then picked my card up at, I think it was 7, I think it might have been 705 or 710 or maybe even 720. I'm pretty sure it was about 700 or 705, but it could have been a little bit above this, knowing that I'm going to judge to sell for higher because I did what I showed you previously, which I'll show again now. So you can see here 750k is a daily average. He's currently market priced at 727. If you sold at 750, your break even is 712 after tax. So you need to be winning below that to be safe. If you judge that you can sell for higher, or you trust that he'll fluctuate higher because the day of the week. So if it's Wednesday and Thursday tomorrow with weekend league, then you know yourself that you're probably going to be able to charge higher because cards tend to rise during weekend league buying. As you can see, this card's at 714 on the market, so the current price doesn't necessarily mean it's not the cheapest at the point. So now we know it's at 714, and the break even after tax on this card was... I've lost the card, one moment. The break even after tax is 712. So I already know at 712k break even after tax on 750. And I've done the thing here where, like I said, on FIFA, where I went to 770 into here. I put Salah in. Team of the week. He's only got 1 in 4. He's got a few informs, but again, this is the cheapest one. You can see the rating next to the player on the list anyway. If you put in 770, or you start at 750 daily average, so you're finding a daily average price. There's only 5 on the market. You know this card's going to fluctuate to that again. If you keep looking up, again, the key trick to this I like to look at, when there's above a page, that's when there's concern. Also notice these are all below the hour. So I know at 714 right now in the market, I can probably get 770 for this card, or 765. So because I'm judging that I can sell for higher because he's quite a scarce card and there's not a lot of supply, as you can see, or even the daily average, let's say, if I sold it daily average of 750 and I made 712k back after tax, then 714's near the break even already. So we know he's now low, and now what we do is we watch the cards on open bid, or we try and sit there and pick up a snipe when one comes up on the market, or you wait for, just check it back again. Don't just sit on the same player, but just watch one and then check it back in the future. We've already got the one watch that's the cheapest, so. But again, as I said to you, in this example, I know personally I can sell this card for 765 to 770. On my main account, if you're looking at cards like this, you probably have about 5 million coins onwards. If you've got 5 million coins doing this, you need at least 30,000 coins per card, I'd say, with 700k cards, because you need to be buying at least 5 to 10 cards with a good enough profit to make a mass amount. But you could try win this on bid, or you could pick this up judging that you're going to be able to sell higher. If you pay above the break even after tax and you're trusting that he's going to get back to daily average, you're then doing this on your own accord. So I am actually going to buy this card, I think, at 714, purely because I know I can sell for 765, and I'm going to go off that. But again, even if thinking about it now, I'm on a 2 million coin account, and that's quite an expensive card to be sitting there. I'd make about 15,000 coins if I sold at 765. Not even that, I'd make about 10 to 11, maybe 12. I'm actually going to keep an eye on this one that's on bid, and I'm just going to check it back in the future. So we're going to come back to you if we manage to get a Salah. I'm going to look more towards the 700k or 710. Any undercut on this, and I'll buy it just because I know I'm making more than 12k. Like, it needs to be at least 15k for me in this situation. Again, you judge your own prices to buy and sell what you're judging the market to fluctuate back to, or if you think it'll rise above. So I'll get back to you once you've hopefully managed to pick up a Salah. Alright guys, I just basically refreshed it. I've been sitting on my phone, not actually sitting there looking, to be honest. But I refreshed it and you've seen the 699 got undercut. So I'm actually going to pick this deal up, and it's literally as simple as that. So you need a break even after tax, even if you're doing it by the rule of it selling for the daily average price. I've done this at 2 AM in the morning or 2:30 in the morning. The fluctuations, they all fluctuate at different times, but I know myself from previous experience, which you'll gain as you do this. Again, this was within 12 to 24 hours I've sold Salahs, so. But I know myself that this card will sell for 765 or 770. So I'm going to make about 35,000 coins, 25,000 coins on this card after EA tax roughly, maybe 28. So that's a very, very good pickup, knowing that I'm going to be selling at 765, not the daily average, because I see the supply, I see they're all below the hour. So I know it's a fluctuation. When he's low on supply and someone wants a Salah, 765 will sell. So all I did there was simply compare price and backed out. Again, if I wasn't on the card, I'd have just checked again. So I'd have simply just gone onto here, typed in Salah, knowing what price I was happy to pay with, because I worked that out off the current values I've seen there in the daily average. And simply, don't panic about this. There's not a lot of supply, and I know I'm going to list this now for 12 hours. So this is what you do to every fluctuation card you buy, is you're listing it for 12 hours. At the price you're willing to be happy with. So I paid 699, and obviously rare example where I'm going to be selling above the daily average price because I know my players. But if you're in the example even at 750, so if you sold it back at daily average hoping for it to bounce back, because the only reason it was a weekly sell off, you're still making money. But again, you can do the little trick I just showed you there and then take a gamble that he'll rise higher, or you'll be able to get a higher price due to bad supply. So all we're going to do, I'm going to list for a day. These normally only need 12-hour listings, but I'm going to get back to you. In fact, I'll list for 12 hours. So I'm going to list for 12 hours, and I'll get back to you if this card sells or if it doesn't. I'll also do this to the CHEM. So we're going to refer to the daily average. Again, I'm probably not going to use the daily average entirely here because, as you can see, an 83 inform shouldn't really be worth that. But again, I just want to cover this up really quickly again one more time, just so this sinks in, because it's very important. If you look at the price at 765, we need a daily average is currently 750. You see there's only 5 on the market. If there was less than 10, but the most important bit here is look at the time remaining on these cards. So in 57 minutes, if no one relists their Salahs in 57 minutes, or one person buys a Salah and the other 4 don't relist, then you'll be the cheapest on the market at 765. And if you come to that point and then someone wants Salah for their team A lot of people don't have patience in FIFA. They'll buy your card. So if you have that bad supply moment, that's why the 12-hour listing's there. Because these are all 1-hour listings, you'll be into the fluctuation. Should he get low on supply or the demand goes up for a certain hour, you'll sell your card, and that's how you make money. So as you can see, we've got the Salah. I'm going to delete this as well. So we got the Salah for 765 there for 12 hours. Again, ignore the rest of this. It's just side trading with shadows and hunters and stuff. So basically, we've got that one up. We'll do the same to Jal Quinn, and I'll get back to you if this sells or if it doesn't. I expect the Jal Quinn not to sell, so I'll explain to you what you do in the situations where the cards wouldn't sell. Okay, so it's the following day. I've sold the Salah and the Jal Quinn. Consider the Salah as the example within this video because the Jal Quinn is an anomaly due to him being from Team of the Week 1, so that's why he sold for so high and why I got such a good deal. He's just a really, really rare card, so that's why that card sold. Again, it's an extra perk with the fluctuations because it will pick up that low if it's there. Imagine the Salah in this example didn't sell, so I was trying to wait for one not to sell so I could explain to you what to do if it doesn't sell in the 12 hours. It's very similar to specials and icon trading. You need to consider the day of the week, so if it's Monday, it's the best day to probably have a card in most weeks because you've got the whole build up towards the next week in League, and you don't normally get big promos or market dips in the market until after Friday to Saturday normally. You can get rare ones during Tuesday, Wednesdays where there's build up to something such as, let's say, Team of the Year was around the corner or Team of the Season, or there's a promo around the corner that everyone was preparing for, so that could mean your card still won't rise. If we say the Salah in this example didn't sell, what I would do, I paid $6.99 for that card. I would refer back to the website to see what the new daily average is for the current day of it not selling. And I'd also go onto the market and I would simply just look again. So again, he might be low again now. I'm not going to buy again today because you do need to refer to the daily average again. As you can see, there's only one on the market at 749, so I would have simply relisted for 1-hour listings during the day in this situation. If I still couldn't sell by 4 or 5 PM UK time of the current day, or I was trying again for 10 hours and it still didn't sell, I would lower my price to try and make money still, if not break even after tax. You do want to try to avoid losing any coins and any cards, but again, that will be down to how much you pay on cards. You can't expect every single scenario where you buy into a fluctuation to get back to the daily average, because if the market were like that, everyone would be rich from the game. With this though, it does give you a very good understanding of how the cards will fluctuate. But hopefully, like, this whole video has explained everything. This works throughout PC, Xbox and PlayStation. So just give it a try, and bear in mind again, 10% of your budget per card. You want to be spreading your bets between different players. At least 10 to 15k per card profit, just whatever's happier profit for what you want on a card. So again, in that situation, I think made about 28,000 on this Salah, but I would have settled for 18 or 19k profit per card. Again, you stick at this kind of card if you're higher tier, these kind of cards if you've got less than $1 million. So give this a try and see how it goes for yourself.